You sit there for a few minutes, gagging on the fish taste still lingering in your mouth. Why would Luna want to forcefully feed you fish? She said it was just an appetizer, meaning that she's probably going to do it again in the future. But in the midst of these thoughts, you can't help but notice that she spoke in a modern dialect when her magic had a hold of you. This was only when she had you restrained in her magic. Before and after this, she spoke the way she usually does. It's as though she was possessed by something while she had a hold of you. The very contact between you and her magic seemed to change her. "Anonymous!" Oh God, not again. You spring up to run, only to find that Rarity is the one who spoke. "Oh, thank goodness, I thought we'd never find you." "Where are the others?" you ask between breaths. "We split up, searching for you and Luna and—" Rarity pauses. You stand there silently. "What's that smell?" she asks. I accidentally ran into a storage closet full of fish," you actually manage to say. Rarity gives you a confused look. All you can do now is smile awkwardly. Silence. You see the tomato stain on the floor again. You know damn well what you're thinking about right now. "Anonymous!" Pinkie Pie's voice breaks the silence. "Is this going to happen all day?" "There you are! We were hoping to find you so we could talk about Princess Luna once we find her," Pinkie Pie proclaims. "Well, what are we waiting for? Let's get a move on, darling," urges Rarity. You cannot speak, only follow. The three of you head on down the hallway. Pinkie Pie is calling loudly for Luna to show up. You know where she is. You know exactly where she is. Maybe not location-wise, but you know what her surroundings look like. You do not utter a word. "Hey!" Pinkie Pie shouts. "What smells so fishy?" Oh God, no. "If I remember correctly, Anon had explained that he fell into a closet of fish," Rarity says somewhat sarcastically. It's obvious that she doesn't believe you. You cringe. "Yes." Pinkie Pie bursts out laughing. "You're so silly, Anon, and clumsy too," she guffaws. "Maybe you can stumble into wherever Luna is. Hope she likes fish." You turn to Rarity. She's giving you a derisive look. She has a slightly cheeky grin and slowly raises one eyebrow. She's not fooled. Pinkie suddenly reaches around a corner. "Maybe I can find something to help us look for Luna," she declares. She begins pulling random objects from around the corner. First a lamp, then a turkey dinner, a paperclip, a rectal thermometer, a giant xylophone, the chandelier from the royal dining hall, and then Luna herself. Silence. Jaws drop. "Explainest to me how thou did that," says Luna before noticing you. She blushes and folds her ears back while making the adorable squee sound. "How?" You eventually meet up with the rest of the main six except Twilight, who is currently delivering a heartwarming speech to the huge riot outside of the castle. You all go to the hall just around the corner to the balcony. She's saying a bunch of things about how everything they think is a misunderstanding, and that the princesses have been depended on for a long time since before the modern age. You have to admit, she's dishing out her facts quite nicely. Her whole speech is very convincing, even her closing statement. "So promise me, ponies from Canterlot, and promise to each of your own, that you will not allow yourselves to turn to violence. It is far too easy to misinterpret certain situations and eventually believe they can occur for all the wrong reasons. We have to remember what Equestria was founded on, and what it stands for. Love, tolerance, acceptance, and friendship," Twilight concludes after her long speech. The speech is absolutely enthralling. You're blown away. In fact, the crowd has every reason in the world to toss their torches and pitchforks and return to their lives. They applaud, not cheer, but applaud. It's almost like a reluctant, slow clap from a villain that has been brilliantly outsmarted by a foe. A sarcastic, condescending clap. Beckoning, almost threatening. They're not done yet. You can feel it. After the crowd finally leaves, everyone finally has a chance to sit down for dinner, which is finally ready. You all sit down at the table as the food is brought out. You insist that you've lost your appetite. "Why so?" Celestia calmly asks. "Just after the things that happened today, I'm a little shaken up." It's all you're able to say. "Be of no concern, sister. Our dear Anonymous willeth have more of an appetite later," Luna interjects. Did she mean our as in her and Celestia, or just her? After dinner, Celestia offers to transport the main six back to Ponyville. They accept. Celestia advises that you and Luna stay behind in the castle for safety reasons involving the hatred of the crowd having been directed mainly at you two. They all leave. The shivers begin again. You are alone in the castle with Luna. Judging by the length of the last trip, Celestia will be back in about 20 to 30 minutes. Way too much fucking time for comfort. You stand in the middle of the main hall, in the open. You have no idea where Luna is. You know she's going to try and find you. Trying not to make a sound, you slowly creep in the direction of your quarters. You just figure that you'll be safest there. Ever so slightly. You have quite a ways to go before you reach the room. You carefully analyze the dark corners and corridors everywhere you go, each shadow holding a mystery that could or could not be Luna. Strangely enough, you're overwhelmed by a combination of fear and excitement. You pass by a corridor feeding into the one which you walk. It's incredibly dark. Not a sound can be heard. You continue, the deafening apprehension beating down on you like a freight train. She could be anywhere, lurking in the darkness, watching. You finally approach your door. Just a few more steps and you're home free. Just a little bit further. You pass through the doorway, when the moonlight from the window shines down onto the bed, revealing a shadow lying on it. "We hath been expecting thou, Anonymous." Fucking book it back down the hall. Almost knocked down a bunch of shit, but you don't care. You can hear all of her galloping in pursuit. Just fucking why? You keep running. Luna's gaining. She's a lot faster than you. Makes fucking sense. You turn a corner and cut a room into another hallway in an attempt to lose her. LOL, nope. She teleports right in front of you. About 4 or 5 fish are floating behind her. Fuck that shit.jpg. You are sprinting again, now almost out of breath. Luna's gaining a lot faster this time. There's no hope. Once again, you are literally royally fucked. You try turning a corner again, another corner, it's a fucking dead end. There is a high up window, but not high enough for you to jump out of it. The moonlight shines down upon you like a spotlight. The hallway is the stage. Luna slowly approaches you. She has like 6 or 7 fish in tow. At least 15 minutes until Celestia gets back. Luna slowly spreads her wings, and in her booming, thundering voice, "Do not have fear, Anonymous! 'Tis I, Princess Luna. I must feed thou thy favorite meal." You are unable to make a sound of any kind. As she gets within 2 feet from you, you try and sprint for it and dodge around her. Her magic swiftly wraps itself around you, topples you over, and lands you on your back. Luna holds your arms and legs down with her hooves. Damn, she's strong. "Thou art not allowed to slumber without eating supper beforehand." One by one, the small fishes are levitated, rammed into your mouth. Why can't she just agree that you can eat your fish on your own? After the second fish, you decide to just close your eyes and wait for the scene to end. The third fish is entered and swallowed. This is how you're going to eat from now on. You're sure of it. A 4th fish. You're going to be force-fed fish like a baby whale because you simply wanted Luna and yourself to fit in. This is your punishment. A 5th and a 6th. You brought this upon yourself. 7 fish. Luna releases her grasp. You swallow the last of the fish. A glass of chocolate milk is hovered right in front of you. "Drink, my beloved," Luna declares. Her magic holds the glass as you sip down the chocolate milk. It's so fucking good. Not only does it wash away the fish taste, but it's the most delicious chocolate milk you've ever had. I'm okay with this.jpg. Luna carries you to your room on her back. You fucking fall asleep like a baby before you even reach the room. What? A dream. You are floating in an ocean. It goes on forever in every possible direction. The water is perfectly flat and motionless. Other than the slick, pitch-black water, there is a night sky, filled with the epic wonders of the cosmos. The Milky Way, thousands of different clusters and blankets of stars of all kinds of colors and warped designs take your breath away. Just epic stars and space shit. Everything in the wondrous sky is reflected on the immense and vast mirror of the endless sea. Fuck yeah.jpg. And there you float, in the peacefulness of your own subconsciousness. You think about Luna. You remember everything you've done for her. Talking with her when almost no one else would, supporting her involvement in conversations, enduring her attempts to impress you, confront your interests and desires, and bring harmony into your life. How much more would need to happen? Will Luna ever catch up with the rest of equestrian society? You want the best for her, because she wants the best for you. The two of you can relate so closely, it's practically unfathomable. And all you can do now is think about it. Unable to move, unable to speak. Only think. In the endless sea of your own tranquility. Anonymous, you hear a soft whisper. You are suddenly on the surface of a gray, dirt-like clay ground. The moon. Luna slowly flies towards you from the starry and decorated sky. What the fuck is going on? Has Luna appeared in your dreams again? Art thou prepared for the second serving? She hums, almost purring. Millions of fucking fish start appearing out of nowhere, floating down from the sky. Fish, spaghetti, and squashed tomatoes gently float through the cosmos. Luna spirals a vortex of fish straight onto your mouth as you lie on the moon's surface. You are still dreaming. Thousands and thousands of fish right down into your mouth. Luna has conquered your dreams. She rules them now. You're so hungry you need more fish. Your body inflates like a balloon. So many fish. They start pouring out of your ears. You explode. Gigantic tidal waves of fish and spaghetti are launched into the vacuum of space. You jolt awake, covered in sweat. You are now lying in your bed. You immediately begin to reject what you just experienced being awake. Why can't Luna leave you alone? At least in your dreams. You hear Celestia calling for you. Anonymous, breakfast is ready, she beams. You get dressed. You try and look as presentable as you can. As you walk into the royal dining hall, Luna awaits you. You sit next to her. She is smiling, confidently this time. Without realizing, you smile back. It's at this moment that you come to the realization that nothing will ever be the same between you and Luna again. She owns you now. After the dream, you just can't get yourself to focus anymore. It's borderline impossible to maintain an established grip on reality. What the fuck has Luna done to your mind? What's she even trying to prove anymore? You continue with your daily duties, sweeping the floors and all that jazz. You skip lunch. You're not about the lunch life anymore. You've finally established a connection with Luna. It's a strange one, but it's something. Between chores, she visits you. "'Tis time for thy desirable feast, Anon," she says. You just go along with it. It's the only thing that sustains her overall enthusiasm. You can't believe you're eating fish every day just so Luna can feel accepted. Where the hell is she even getting all the damn fish? That's not important right now. Until the rest of the ponies in Canterlot can learn to accept Luna for who she is, you have to continue to support her confidence. You feel like it's absolutely necessary. You'll do almost anything to help her. But regardless of what happens, you know this is bound to go too far sooner or later. You eventually approach Celestia in her throne room. "Anonymous, how are you patching things up with Luna?" she immediately asks, clearly interested in how the current events are going with her sister. "I think we may need to talk about Luna," you solemnly respond. "I understand," answers Celestia. Explain to Celestia that the reason you had been skipping meals recently is that Luna had wanted you to eat nothing but fish. Celestia immediately gives you a perplexed look. "I don't understand," she finally says. "Remember when I was playing along with Luna's cultural customs?" "So eating fish used to be one of those?" "No, well, maybe, I don't know. But she thinks that I'm crazy about fish." "Well, what exactly would lead her to believe that?" You sigh. This is going to be painfully awkward to say. But what choice do you have? "A couple of nights ago, Luna appeared in one of my dreams." Celestia's eyes widen slightly. You pause so that you can be sure Celestia is following along. "Well," Celestia states lightly, "Luna does tend to appear in one's dreams if they think about her while they fall asleep. It's simply something she does." You lower your head slightly. You just can't figure out how you managed to slip into this situation. She was asking me what my interests are. Celestia raises her eyebrows in surprise. Not any specific type of interest, I don't think. Celestia seems to automatically understand what happened. "It appears that," she hesitantly explains, "she wanted you to feel more comfortable with the things she does when she tries to appeal to you, so her own means of socializing would be effective, despite them having been 1,000 years out of date." You completely understand everything that Celestia is telling you. You nod so that she can see that you're actively listening. To do this, she wanted to have knowledge of what your favorite things are, so that she could use those things to convince you that she is more than worth being in the presence of and socializing with. She wanted to relate more to you, since it seemed as though you were the easiest out of everyone else around here to connect with. She couldn't really match her interests to pretty much any pony else. It's all coming together now. Celestia continues to explain everything to you. When she approached you in that dream, you were in a state in which you could not think properly or completely. This is common when any of us dream. Your opinions were more easily swayed, much more easily swayed than when you're awake. You can only give simple, non-thought-out answers. Oh God, it all makes sense now. But why did you want to appeal to me in the first place? What did I do? You managed to other. Apparently, the fact that you started friendly conversations with her and asked her about things in her life triggered her. Celestia continues. No pony else even wanted to talk to her, let alone change their social status to the level she was on, despite her being a princess. You, on the other hand, were already at a low social status, and the combination of that fact with the act of you being so friendly to her when no pony else would, has indeed caused her to literally need your company so she can feel significant, not only to others, but to herself. All you can do now is nod. However, she is still different from you in certain ways, being she is lost in the social customs of the past. Whenever she wanted to show that she desires your attention, she didn't know how to act around you. She was already well aware of that, but she still tried her best, hence wanting to know your interests. Did I explain it clearly enough so that you can understand, Anon? What a mess, Anonymous. What a mess. You nod in agreement. You head on over to the royal dining hall for dinner, which is almost ready. What do? You're sitting down at the royal dining table with the princesses. Luna to your left and Celestia to your right as usual. Your plate, surprisingly, is a formally cooked and prepared fish dinner. You would have imagined that Luna would have completely taken over the process of preparing the meals that you would eat. But you realize that she actually has, in a better way that you have anticipated. A toast, Luna declares, to another grand Friday supper, in honor of Anonymous, who riseth up above the merciless ranks of Canterlot society and achieves greatness to spread amongst all three here in the castle. A formally prepared Gudgeon feast for thou, Anonymous. Everyone raises their glasses of chocolate milk, the princesses using their magic and you using your hand. You suddenly remember that this dinner had been planned before you even told Luna you like fish. It finally occurs to you that these meals take place every week. It happened to be fish this time, and one thing led to another, causing Luna to believe that you are crazy for and obsessed with fish. But little did you know that certain things are still leading into other things. Luna is not yet done appeasing you. She has something on the next level of interest planned for you. The rest of the night goes smoothly. You finish your dinner and you're off to bed. As you walk down the corridor to your room, you hear a voice behind you. Anonymous. You immediately recognize Luna's voice. You turn around. Luna stands there with a smile on her face. Beside her, a larger fish. It's unusually large, much larger than the others. And Luna didn't have any chocolate milk with her this time. Luna, what a surprise seeing you here late at night. You stammer awkwardly. Art thou ready for thy best gudgeon yet? Luna asks, kind of sing-songily. That one looks a whole lot bigger than the others, you say, seeing that the fish is even too big to fit inside of your digestive system. And as you know, I've already eaten a large meal. Luna continues to stare at you. You gulp. This here gudgeon isn't for consuming, Anonymous. What the fuck? It's slowly levitated towards you. You run away. You know she'll probably catch you, but it's worth trying. This has officially gone too far. It's immensely difficult to run on a full stomach. You get a cramp. It's so painful. You have to keep going. You decide to try and find Celestia. She's your only hope. Luckily, you're not far from the throne room. You limp your way over to the throne room as fast as you can. You stumble inside in pain. Celestia is on her throne. Anonymous, are you alright? You look as though you're in pain. She leaps down from the throne and races to you. I'm not injured, you manage to blurt out. Are you sure? At that instant, Luna appears in the doorway. Sister, what are you doing here? Celestia asks. Not her fault. It's not her fault, you repeatedly groan. It's really all you can say, remembering how much you still want to help Luna. We saw Anonymous limping through the halls and tried to help him, Luna beseeches. You just nod in agreement so Celestia doesn't take things the wrong way. Luna speaks again. Seeing that thou hast the situation under control, we are not needed at the moment, she quickly proclaims. Another crackle and a flash of light later, she's gone. A long pause. Anonymous, Celestia softly bids. It does not take a genius to see that something just happened in the hallways. Please do be honest. What actually happened? It takes you a minute to regain your composure. Celestia patiently awaits. You sigh once more. About 2 or 3 minutes ago, you reveal, Luna jumped behind me with a really large fish. This already sounds ridiculously weird. It was way too big to eat, and she knew I'd already eaten. Celestia's eyes widen dramatically. She can see where this is going. And when I asked what the fish was for, she said it wasn't for eating, and you start to trail off. Celestia's ears fold back, and she begins to blush. Oh my. You know you need to continue. Anyway, she was chasing me down the hallway with the fish, and I've already eaten, so I got a cramp. It's okay, Anonymous. You don't need to say anything more. I understand what's going on, Celestia conjures. We'll figure out what to do. I suppose it's safe to say this might have gone too far, huh? You can only nod again. Yes. You're dreaming again. Once again, your surroundings happen to be the surface of the moon. You stand in place, lost in overwhelmingly confounding bewilderment. You see Luna, slowly and apologetically walking towards you. Her head faces the ground, eyes closed. She stops about arm's length in front of you. Anonymous, she speaks softly. We wish to apologize to thou for our actions tonight. Silence. It's not what you think, your majesty, you eventually persuade, not wanting Luna to feel undesirable. Luna opens her eyes. The shining reflections next to her pupils rapidly move back and forth. It's not like that I don't like fish or anything. It's just we humans normally eat fish that are cooked. Cooked? Yes, cooked. And we eat them with silverware and a plate. We're not usually held down and have raw fish rammed into our throats. We are deeply sorry, Anonymous. We are still adjusting to the modern ways of society, as thou likely already know. I do know. We are trying. We just wish to comfort thee the best ways we can. I'm still okay with fish, though. Luna gives you a hopeful look. Just not as cold, slimy, and uncooked fish, you conclude, not remembering the basis of the most recent fish episode. We understand. From now on, all gudgeons shall be served warm and decorated, Princess Luna says. You suddenly awake in your bed. You woke up by accident. You figure it's not worth trying to return to the dream. You've never been able to do that. It's morning anyway. You visit Celestia in the throne room just before breakfast. Anon, Celestia announces, I'm afraid I have some bad news. You don't speak. You just follow her to one of the windows and look outside. Down in the streets, you see the ponies of Canerlot gathered in the town square, surrounding two objects. One is a burning pile of unknown material, and the other looks like some kind of siege weapon under construction. There's no way this can be good. Boom! That's 2 fics in one day. Who was expecting that? I sure wasn't. Anyway, we're about halfway down at this point. Probably 2 more. We should be done with this one. I'm thinking about after this one, I might do a short fic. I found a really nice tree hugger green if anybody wants me to read that. And thanks again so much for listening. Don't forget to smash that motherfucking like button. And have an awesome day and a happy new year.